Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a massive headache for authors and creators everywhere, building a website. For years, it's been a frustrating choice, right? You either pick an easy-to-use platform that locks you in, or you go for full ownership and find yourself staring at a mountain of code. But what if a new kind of AI is about to blow that choice right out of the water?
Here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the core dilemma, then look at the traditional human expert solution. After that, we'll dive into this new AI-powered workflow, put them head-to-head, and finally ask what it all means for the future of creative control.
Okay, so let's get right into it. This whole thing starts with a problem that is painfully familiar to a lot of independent creators. We're going to use author Maddie Dalrymple as our guide here because she found herself in a situation that forces a really tough decision.
Just imagine getting that email. The platform you've poured years of work into, the digital home for your entire career, is basically getting a demolition notice. It just pulls the rug out from under you. And this isn't some rare occurrence. It highlights a conflict that creators have been stuck in for decades.
It's always been this fundamental trade-off. On one hand, you have what we call the walled gardens. Think Squarespace or Wix. They're super easy, but you're basically just renting your online space. On the other hand, you've got digital sovereignty, true ownership. The problem, that freedom has always been locked behind, and I love this phrase, a formidable wall of technical proficiency. You had to be a tech wizard to get.
So, faced with that wall, what has been the go-to solution? Well, for years, it's been pretty simple. You hire a human expert, a web designer, to help you climb over it. When author Maddie Dalrymple called up website designer Pauline Wiles for help, the very first thing Pauline did was hit the brakes. And this is so important because it shows you what a real expert's value is. It isn't just about building the thing, it's about asking the big strategic questions before a single line of code is written.
And these are the kinds of questions they ask. It's not about button colors, not yet. It's about what are you trying to achieve? Who are you talking to? What are you actually going to do to market yourself? A human-led strategy is all about building a tool that's perfectly tailored to support an author's actual career, not just a pretty online brochure.
But now, something is changing. A completely new approach is showing up, and it really challenges that entire human expert model. We are shifting from relying solely on human strategy to being able to leverage a powerful new form of artificial intelligence.
Now, this is the key. We are not talking about a simple chatbot that just answers questions. We're talking about agentic AI. Think of it less like a calculator and more like a tireless, brilliant digital engineer who works for you. You give it a goal in plain English, and it can understand that goal, make a plan, and actually do the work.
And this flips everything on its head. The whole paradigm shifts from needing to know how to do something, clicking through a clunky user interface, to simply needing to clearly state your intent. You don't need to know which buttons to press. You just need to know what you want the final result to be.
So how does this magic actually work? Well, it's basically a stack of 4 clever services working together. You've got Claude as the AI brain, you use Slack as the command center, it's where you chat with your AI, GitHub acts as the free, high-performance hosting for your site, and your domain registrar is just your website's address. Put them together, and you have a website you can manage just by having a conversation.
Okay, so we've got our two contenders, the traditional human-led strategy versus this new agentic AI model. Let's put them side by side and see how they really stack up.
Right from the start, you can see a huge difference. The human strategist, our designer Pauline, is all about the why. Why does this website exist? The AI agent, on the other hand, is an absolute powerhouse at executing the what. You tell it what to do, and it does it. It can even handle design through this wild concept called vibe coding, where you literally just describe the aesthetic you want, like make it minimalist and bookish, and it generates the code to match. Now, when it comes to day-to-day stuff, the gap gets even wider. The old way, you log into a dashboard, find the right page, fiddle with a text editor, you know the drill. The new agentic model turns all of that into a simple chat. You can literally just paste a blog post into Slack and say, post this, or drag in an image and say, replace the header with this. This workflow is called ChatOps, and it's ridiculously fast and intuitive. Okay, let's talk about money. You might be surprised to see the annual costs are pretty close, but here is the critical difference. With the AI model, you're paying for the intelligence, not the hosting. That's free. And for that price, you get way better security, top-tier performance, and most importantly, total ownership. You're not renting anymore. You own the deed.
When you look at it on a chart, the economic win is obvious. The agentic model is the cheapest of the bunch. But here's the real kicker. That Claude Pro subscription you're paying for,
you're going to be using that for writing, research, brainstorming, all sorts of stuff. So the actual added cost for just the website maintenance is basically zero. So this all brings us back to the big question we started with. Does this revolutionary workflow actually solve the author's dilemma? Does it finally put creators back in the driver's seat? And the short answer is yes, absolutely. But, and this is a big but, the nature of that control has completely changed.
This right here is the single most important takeaway. Your power is no longer measured by your ability to click the right buttons. It's measured by your ability to clearly articulate a vision. The game has shifted from being a technician to being a director.
You can see that shift right here. The old skills required you to be a part-time web developer, navigating complex interfaces, and maybe even tweaking some code. The new skills, they require you to be a great manager, someone who can give clear instructions, check the final work, and break down a big vision into small, manageable tasks for your AI partner.
Now, with this new power comes new responsibilities, and this is crucial to understand. The AI can only see the code. It can't actually see your website like a person does. That means you are the final quality check. You have to be the one to look at the finished product and say, yes, that's right, or no, tweak that. You become the project manager, the QA tester, and the keeper of the vision.
And so, in the end, this agentic workflow offers a truly powerful new kind of digital sovereignty. It finally tears down that formidable wall of technical proficiency and puts the focus right back where it should be for any creative professional, on the strength and clarity of their ideas. The defining question for creators is no longer can you code, it's can you articulate your vision.